Hey, what's going on, you guys? Synth here, and I'm bringing you another figure review, and this time I'm bringing you Marvel Comics Spider-Man, Miss Marvel's Mysterio. Ooh, in classic figure form. I'm so glad I managed to finally find this, and I just had to get it. I love Mysterio. He's a great character and all that stuff, so... Mm. I'm so glad I got this. It's big nostalgia for me because I love the '90s Spider-Man. So it's so sick that they did this. Uh, '90s Spider-Man and all '90s animation cartoons for Marvel, Hulk, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, um, Iron Man. They were always like a fan classic for me. So it's just great to see this again. I need to pick up Spider-Man, dude. Like, my God. But all right, let's stop wasting time here and let's check this guy out. So usually what I would do is pop out the figure, check that out, then the box. But right now I'm just gonna check out everything while it's in here, all nice. So right here we got like the 90, we got the classic figure set up right there, how it used to be. Nice right here. Good design, nice design. A cloud of smoke heralds the arrival of the villainous mastermind who uses art of illusion against Spider-Man, Mysterio. And then we have all the other characters that came out recently. We got Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Green Goblin, Gwen Stacy, Daredevil, Marvel's Electro. And it says right here that you could actually take it off, which is actually pretty sick. That you can take off his fishbowl head. God, dude, mad vibes. Just seeing this title and like Spider-Man on top, just gives me mad vibes from the show. Oh man. Alright, let's pop him out, shall we? And here we go, Mysterio, or Mysterioso. Ah, dude, it's so cool just to see this design. It looks really straight out from the animated series. Pretty sick. Nice detail, flamboyant as hell with this cape. Wow, there's so much detail on the inside, but on the outside it's all plain. Weird. Huh. I guess the first thing I'll do is like remove this. So let's see. What does his face look like? Ah, what the hell, dude? He looks like a crash test dummy head. Or it actually looks like Peter Parker's head, but like see-through. Huh. Interesting. Not bad. 360 degrees. Swivels back and forth. It looks like it can take it out. Yeah. Like that. Damn. And then it's got like a little pin right here that I can put it in. So it doesn't come out of the spine so easily. So let's put that back in. Ah. There we go. There. We got like the details in the eyes right here. The gauntlet's got really well done detail into it. The boots. Nice. Well, no articulation there. This is flimsy. This moves a little bit. Arm, 306 degrees. Yeah. Good 90. Bicep, 306 degrees. Double jointed. And hand, 306 degrees. Oh, good 90. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. Leg, good 90. Oh, wow. Oh my god, where is this going? Yeah, good 90 right there. 45. Yep, this is all Marvel characters. Oh my god, this cape is so annoying. 300 degrees at the thigh. Good 90 at the leg. Double jointed knee. And, ooh, 360 degrees at the boot. Nice. 360 degrees at the foot. Good 90. Ooh, it's pretty well done. I like that. He does come with accessories. He comes with his clouds of smoke, which has really good, interesting detail to it. Looks like it has like bubbles, clouds, tentacles. Like definitely a tentacle going on right here. There's great detail going into it too. And how it looks like it's placed at the feet. So let's see, do something like this. And then it looks like it latches onto here in the back. I could be wrong, but it looks pretty good right there. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere on the hands, but like at the feet. Who knows? Well, that's pretty much it. Now, usually what I do is a brief history of the character and all that stuff, but I think I'll leave that to Variant Comics, who did a nice origin story for Mysterio. So let's check them out, shall we?
Mysterio's origin is given to us in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 13. The issue starts off with the unthinkable... Are you really drinking while I'm trying to read? Slurping? Really? We're gonna do that again. Mysterio's origin is given to us in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 13. The issue starts off with the unthinkable Spider-Man committing a crime, stealing a bag of money. Money, money, money. He then proceeds to run away from the cops by jumping from building to building and web-slinging, eventually evading the police with a web parachute. Of course, J. Jonah Jameson jumps all over this, printing it right away on the front page of the Daily Bugle. We even see a paperboy advertising it saying, "Read all about it, Spider-Man wanted by the police." The public is shocked and disgraced by how an amazing hero could turn to crime. When the news eventually gets to Peter, he's like, "This is impossible, it's insane, I know I didn't commit that crime." Yet there's witnesses and evidence. It couldn't have been an imposter. Nobody else can shoot a web as I do or climb walls the way I can with my spider power. Because of this, Peter thinks there's only one possibility, that he's developing a split personality much like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, meaning he's doing it in his sleep without even knowing it. Meanwhile, a meeting is called in J. Jonah Jameson's office because some nut sent him a note saying he could get rid of Spider-Man all by himself. So he told him to come here and prove it. And just as Jameson is telling his employees this, a mysterious smoke appears in the room with a figure behind it saying, "I am Mysterio." Jameson and all of his employees start making fun of him, saying, "What a getup, he looks cornier than Spider-Man." I mean, he is wearing a fishbowl on his head, so there's that. But Mysterio replies, "There's a reason for my disguise. If the underworld ever finds out about my powers, they might try to stop me by threatening my family." Jameson says, "How do we know it's not a trick? You could be Spider-Man himself under that fishbowl," which is also the origin of that nickname. Nickelodeon. So look at that, an origin within an origin. Mysterio then says something to the effect, "Soon enough you'll learn that I mean what I say. However, I must go now, but if you want Spider-Man captured, follow the instructions in this envelope," and then vanishes with a puff of smoke. Jameson reads the note, which says, "Print a notice in the Daily Bugle saying if Spider-Man wants to learn the truth about himself, he should meet Mysterio on top of the Brooklyn Bridge." Of course, Jameson prints it, at which point Peter reads it and meets Mysterio on top of the Brooklyn Bridge. The two then start to battle on top of said bridge, with Mysterio having the upper hand, even being able to dissolve Spider-Man's webbing. And when Mysterio uses his smoke so Spider-Man can't see him, he defeats Old Webhead by punching him off the bridge into the water. This makes Mysterio a hero in the public's eyes. And of course, Jameson was like, "Mysterio is a real crime fighter, not like that stupid Spider-Man. The city even threw him a parade." Shortly after this, Spider-Man gets into another confrontation with him where Mysterio reveals his origin to him, as he's pretty much like, "You're not getting out of this alive, so what does it matter?" It's here we find out for the first time that Mysterio is a man named Quentin Beck. He used to be a stuntman and then became a special effects man for TV and movies. He designed all kinds of costumes and props, but one day got the idea of imitating Spider-Man. He goes on to say he spent many long weeks studying all of Spider-Man's powers and abilities because he was sure he would be able to duplicate them, saying whatever Spider-Man could do naturally, I'll find a way to do artificially.
Anything you can do,
I could do better. I could do. Using all the skill he acquired over the years designing movie props, he made a gun which fired a nylon cord resembling Spider-Man's web. He also designed shoes and gloves with special suction cups, which allowed him to climb walls. Once being able to imitate Spider-Man, his plan was to commit all sorts of crimes that the real Spider-Man would get the blame for. Then he could create a separate identity for himself, which he called Mysterio, and then use it to battle Spider-Man. So when he defeated Spider-Man, he would become a national hero, because no one would know that the criminal Spider-Man and Mysterio were one and the same. What a genius plan. Once Mysterio is done telling Spider-Man all this, Spidey's like, "Well, I just got all that on my tape recorder." This leads us to yet another fight between Mysterio and Spider-Man. It lasts for 4 pages, which is pretty awesome. Spider-Man even punches him through a wall where he lands in the middle of a live set. By the end of the issue, Spider-Man defeats Mysterio and brings him to the cops, along with his confession tape. But there you have it, friends, Mysterio's comic book origin. But now it's time for story arcs and publication history. Following Mysterio's first appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, he would next appear in Spider-Man Annual issue 1 as a member of the Sinister Six. Fun fact, because you guys know I love my comic book fun facts, Spider-Man Annual 1 is actually the first appearance of the Sinister Six, meaning Mysterio is a founding member of the team.
Wow.
Wow. In the issue, we see a locked up Otto Octavius use his thought control to have his mechanical arms break out of the evidence room to free him from his cell. Now free, he later calls a meeting with other Spider-Man villains about a plan to defeat Spider-Man. These villains consisted of himself, Electro, Sandman, Kraven, Vulture, and of course, Mysterio. Otto's plan was to have each villain fight Spider-Man one at a time, one right after another, so by the last fight, he'd be too tired to win. It doesn't work out, and in the end, Spider-Man ends up defeating them. But his one-on-one fight with Mysterio was pretty cool, as Mysterio made robotic versions of the X-Men for Spider-Man to fight. But Spider-Man eventually realizes they're not the real X-Men, and jumped through a glass window that was made to look like a metal door by Mysterio. Once this happened, Mysterio was defeated. Spider-Man would go on to fight Mysterio several more times throughout the years, like in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 66 and 67, which was a two-part story titled The Madness of Mysterio. I'm a big fan of the OG Spider-Man stories, and this one is a really cool one in my opinion. We see that Mysterio has broken out of prison and is using his special effects skills to plot revenge against Spider-Man yet again. A plan that somehow involves a tabletop model of an amusement park and some sort of gun. Before long, we see that Mysterio is on TV challenging Spider-Man, saying, "Before the eyes of millions, I challenge the doomed Spider-Man to meet me at a place only we two know. The place we had our first battle, and where we'll now have our final one." And he says if Spider-Man doesn't meet him, he's gonna destroy the Brooklyn Bridge. Spider-Man meets him at the place they first fought and started battling, but Mysterio was able to use his smoke as a distraction and fire the gun he made at Spider-Man, which shoots a laser at him. We then see the gun was actually the shrink ray from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, as Spider-Man is now shrunken and inside of a model of the amusement park. In the next issue, issue 67, we see Mysterio literally trying to squash Spider-Man in this miniature amusement park. But this is Mysterio, so of course, this is an illusion. By the end of the comic, Spider-Man realizes he hadn't been shrunken, but in reality was fighting on a set with a gigantic robot Mysterio. He then finds the real Mysterio's location and defeats him, as well as burning all of his gear and gadgets before leaving him for the police. Now, before I go any further, I do want to mention something real quick. Even though Mysterio's first appearance was in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 13, it was retconned later on when we found out that the aliens we saw in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 2, which is also the first appearance of Vulture and the Tinkerer, were actually Mysterio and his men. Crazy, right? You see, the Tinkerer apparently hired him to disguise himself as an alien so that he could uncover military secrets. So theoretically, that could be Mysterio's true first appearance in comics. It actually sounds like something my buddy Comic Tom will have to figure out. If you haven't checked out his channel, be sure to do so. Anyway, skipping stuff here and there, Mysterio ultimately appeared in Daredevil Guardian Devil by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada, where it's revealed that Mysterio has a brain tumor and lung cancer due to the side effects of the chemicals he's used against Spider-Man all those years. He only had at most a year to live, so Ravencroft, an institution for the criminally insane, released him to carry out the rest of his life in freedom. But instead of living his final days in peace, Mysterio decided to try one final attempt to get revenge on Spider-Man. But at this point in time, Spider-Man was a clone, so Mysterio felt no need to kill this Spider-Man as it wasn't the same one. So instead, he was like, well, I need to be killed by a hero I respect. And that hero was Daredevil. So he came up with a plan to make Daredevil go crazy and kill him. It came close, but it didn't work. So Beck ended up killing himself by shooting himself in the head with a gun he stole from Kraven. And they say comics are for kids. With the original Mysterio dead, the Marvel Universe needed a Mysterio, and that came in the form of Francis Klum, a teleporting mutant who was able to get his hands on Mysterio's equipment and use it yet again to get revenge on Spider-Man. People don't like Spider-Man. They just don't like him. He's just trying to go...
Enemy of the people.
But that didn't last forever because of course Beck wasn't really dead, as revealed in the Gauntlet storyline where he appears and says, "Come on, Webhead, admit it, you missed me." Spider-Man says, "How did you do it, Beck? How are you not dead?" And Beck replies, "I don't know, maybe it's something to do with being a master of illusion." Duh. After this, Mysterio would appear in the Spider-Man storyline where he was imprisoned in the Ultimate Universe, but ultimately would return back to the main Marvel Universe.
Thank you, Variant Comics. All rights reserved to them. I will be putting a link down below to their channel in the description so you guys can check them out. I love it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and all that stuff. If you didn't, thanks for checking it out. But if you did, please leave a comment, hit that human like button, and if you want to see more videos like this or anything else that's on my channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell when new videos come out, and I'll be catching you guys next time. Peace.